Yeah, it's like
September 2025 meeting to order, Decatur County Area Plan Commission, by with Title 6 of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Decatur County requests that participants in the meeting complete the voluntary anonymous survey that is available on the table in the back of the room. First item on the agenda is minutes from our April 2nd, 2025 meeting. All mailed to you or emailed, so. I look for a motion to approve.
so moved. Second.
First and second to approve the minutes of the April 2nd meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item on the agenda is APC petition 25 2025-10, Charles Robbins is requesting to rezone approximately 2.99 acres out of 5.88 acres for an A1 zoning classification to an A2 zoning classification to build a single-family detached dwelling. This request falls under the Decatur County Ordinance Section number 915 and 927. The property is owned by Connor Robbins and Charles Robbins. It is located at just north of 607 Deer Run, Westport, in St. Creekton Township. For Robbins, take the podium. I assume they got it up there and explain what your project's going to entail here.
Well, I can tell you what I'm gonna do from, I'm actually retiring. My wife, she already is. And, I'm wanting to build just me and her house up there. I think we're gonna be snowbirds down in Florida for about 6 months, and then come up there and live for about 6 months. So, that's pretty much it. Got a lot of yard to mow when I move up there.
Got a neighbor for that. You said you got a neighbor for that.
Yeah, got some neighbors here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty much.
That you're one that's located in that area there, correct? You want to locate the house?
Yes, I'm gonna build it back toward the back. You know, try to be away from everybody. I'm just what make it private. I ain't want to do anything, anything.
There's a letter here will be hooked to the Westport sewer and water.
Yeah, give me the okay for that. I built a lot of homes in Westport. I've built homes 38 years. I got 2 to do this year, and then that's gonna be it.
Questions or comments from the board members? Not hearing any. I'll see if there is any adjoining property owners that would like to make a comment or have questions. Not hearing any. One last time for the board. Otherwise, I will look for a motion on APC 2025-10.
I make a motion, APC petition 2025-10 for vote.
I'll second it.
Have a first and second on 2025-10.
Some of that too.
Not enough. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh. Well, we had to call.
Vote treat as follows. Tom Hunter, yes. Sheila Kirkhoff, yes. Paul Stone, yes. Tom Cherry, yes. Frank Miller, yes. Scott Smith, yes. Simon, yes.
Congratulations, your petition passes. This is the first step of many. Stay in contact with Doug and the people in the office as you go forward.
All right. Okay.
Your petition does pass here, so congratulations.
I want to thank all of you. Thank you.
Follow the process. Moving on, APC petition 2025-11, Alexander Renetta is requesting to subdivide 5 acres out of 35 acres and to rezone approximately 2.99 from the 5 acres into an A1 zoning classification to an 2 zoning classification to build a single-family detached dwelling. This request falls under Decatur County Ordinance Section number 915 and 920-7. The property is owned by Black Acres Incorporated and is located just north of 6582 South County Road 60 Southwest, Greensburg, Indiana, in Sand Creek Township. Mr. Vanetta?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Just explain what we're looking at here.
That's pretty much it. There'll be 5 acre section out of the 35 on the front of that. He'll get 5 of it. And we'd like to rezone the 299 just for single dwelling home. Him and his family. That's simple.
I've seen the stuff that had been approved in here or have been bored anyway, so.
Right, right.
Questions or comments from the board members? Got a lot of water there.
Right, yes. Yes. Always works.
Looks like the highway department has approved the driveway. Any other questions or comments from board members? It's pretty quiet tonight. I will look for questions or comments from adjoining property owners. Not hearing any, I will look for a motion.
Make a motion to vote on APC 2025-11.
I'll second the motion. First and second for vote on 2025-11.
The votes are as follows: Tom Hunter, yes. Jim Perkoff, yes. Paul Stone, yes. Brad Shuey, yes. Tom Cherry, yes. Don Matter, yes. Scott Smith, yes. Mike Kinley, yes.
Again, your petition passes. Congratulations. Stay in contact with the office here as you go through the building process. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone.
APC petition 2025-12. Decatur County Commissioners are requesting to rezone approximately 2.79 acres from an A1 zoning classification to B3 zoning classification to build commercial building. This request falls under Decatur County Ordinance Section number 1145. The property is owned by the petitioner and is located just east of the intersection of 200 West and Park Road, Greensburg, Indiana, Washington Township. All right.
Good evening, Jeremy Pazel, Decatur County Commissioner. So this project is part of the Ready 2.0 project at the fairgrounds. We are building a new community building at the fairgrounds, and currently the entire fairgrounds is zoned as A1. During the building process, we've had discussions about the setbacks on the facilities there, because in discussions with Scott Barnes, with Barnes Construction, the discussion came down to the amount of setback that we would have to have on our way to the building under the A1 designation. And so the discussions then evolved to, do we ask for a special exception here, go for the BZA? Do we rezone a parcel of the fairgrounds, or do we rezone the entire fairgrounds itself? So I'll start with the last one of rezoning the entire fairgrounds. The reason that we've decided not to rezone the entire fairgrounds was because some of the facilities there have had some issues with fire marshal approval for the fair. Specifically, when you're talking about the livestock building, it would not have passed if it was zoned outside of A1 because of the number of emergency exits, the actual doorways. They didn't count the overhead doors for emergency exits. And so we wanted to leave the remainder of the fairgrounds zoned as A1. Additionally, when you look at the rest of the fairgrounds, it is truly serving an agricultural purpose. The purpose here for the Brady project, community building, is to build it large enough that we'll actually be able to host other events, not just events that are geared towards the fairgrounds. We could host exhibitions, conferences, you name it, things that are not just agricultural. And so we were looking at then going before the BZA. And would it be the right thing for the commissioners to be asking for the BZA for a special use exception when we have the ability to go and ask for a parcel to be rezoned into the appropriate classification? And through those discussions, we decided to come before the APC here to actually ask for the permission then to parcel it off, which was approved by the commissioners. Commissioners also Monday evening meeting had approved a contract with Andy Sholey to do the survey work for this parcel. And we believe that it was appropriate to come before this committee to seek a rezoning classification to appropriately reflect what it is that we're looking for this building, and also to make it easier for the building process to continue. And also that way we're not contradicting our own ordinances by having to go to the BZA. And so when you look at the diagram, I'm sure many of you have heard.
Everybody in there, Jeremy.
Okay. So when you look at the diagram, I'm sure many of you have heard throughout the last year or so. Initially, we were looking at building the new structure here. Through the design consultation phase of this project, we had learned that due to the topography of the ground there, the slope from west to east, the amount of fall that's in the ground there, we're going to be incurring significantly more expenses by building there. The amount that we were going to have to build up for the pad was going to be significant. And so then the discussions then went to, do we build it north-south here in the middle, or do we shift it over here further to the west, closer to 200, right there at the corner of Park Road and 200? And so we had decided, due to the topography, it would be easier to move it to that northwest corner. It would also leave green space in the middle of the fairgrounds that can be used not only during the fair, but also to power the pass. It's a great spot to have open during lots of different events that are taking place out of the fairgrounds. And so when we decided to move it that direction, we then ran into the issue that we're here for tonight. There will be parking on the west side of the building and also on the northwest corner of the building. We'll be using existing driveways that are already on 200 and on a Park Road, so we don't have any issues there. So electric is there, water is there currently with the old community building. Both the old community building and the Optimus building have already been demolished.
And it sounds like changing the zoning for this area would be appropriate, as that building could have use throughout the year as opposed to just at times. And I understand that potentially the extension offices could be moved into there, so it won't really function. Maybe the argument could be made, it won't really function like the livestock building that can have very intermittent use. So potentially the commercial makes sense in that aspect too, just by the constant use as well.
Yeah, that's correct. And so this building, I guess the building will have the extension office. It'll be on the west side of the building over towards 200. And just to give you an idea of the size here, we're talking about seating capacity of over 600, possibly up to 650 people seated at a table. So it's a substantial structure. The floors will be large enough, and we will be able to have tractors. I think we said semis or grain trucks in there that are not loaded, but it's substantial. So the amount of different events that we can have inside this facility, that it'll be pretty vast. The overhead doors will be able to accommodate that kind of equipment pulling in and out off of the Park Road Drive. That's basically right where the largest overhead door will be at, so that it's a straight shot off of Park Road. So the uses are varied. I think there's quite a few. It's pretty exciting to see a venue that is this large and is potentially this diversified for what it can provide to Decatur County.
Questions or comments from the board members? Questions or comments from adjoining property owners?
I do have a question. Will it be rented out?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Any event that would have a desire to host something out, we'll be able to schedule it, preserve it. It could be anything from school function to tractor show, hours past. I mean, the only week that would truly be blocked out would be the fair. I've even gotten questions because I'm a average archery hunter and target shooter. There's always search for venues across the state for NASP tournaments and other state level tournaments. I know for the state Indiana indoor tournament this year, we drove to Richmond and we had that event inside their exhibition hall. The size of this facility would be able to host something like that.
Will the current existing extension office, what are we doing with that?
That was up for debate. Initially, the plan was going to be that we were going to demolish it and pave over that spot for additional parking. We've since made the decision that we're going to leave the building. As an office space, it would need some work. As storage, it's just fine. And so we went ahead and decided that instead of having to rebuild a new facility somewhere else, either on the property or around or somewhere in the county, let's go ahead and maintain it while we have it, and we don't have to worry about building something else or having an additional expenditure. Parking has been a big discussion here. So what was it, 15, 20 spots around the building? And so when you're looking at an event that's going to be large, say you're at that 500-600 person event, there's not going to be anything else going on at the fairgrounds. And so you'll be able to park around the fairgrounds, you'll be able to park across the road. You can park on Park Road. So there will be parking. The spots that are attached or adjacent to the building are going to be the handicap spots. So we have considered the accessibility there for all potential users.
So how far will the building come down toward the Optimist building?
It's approximately to the western edge of the Optimist building, as you see it on that picture. The unfortunate thing was that as you look at that picture, you can see that it's just slightly canted. It is not perfectly east and west. And so we were unable to actually keep the structure there and attach it to the building, because I think that as this project gets further down the way, we will be building an additional overhang, if you will, or another structure that's like that, because I think it'd be really cool if you have some type of an event, you have food trucks that are parked out there, you can be inside the event, go outside, you're undercover. It's just a multi-use type of addition there. And also we want other organizations, whether it's the Optimists or pork producers, to be able to have a facility like what they've been able to use for so long.
Frame on the bill, what's the?
So we had a meeting on that earlier today. We are full speed ahead. If you had watched or you heard from our commissioners meeting, has put a pause on the release of Ready to funds across the state. So we have made the decision, the commissioners have so far. I will be going to the next council meeting to get the same approval if they're willing to give it. Our position is we are this far into the process. We own the building as it is right now. We had made the call several months ago prior to tariffs and the raise and the increase in cost to go ahead and purchase the building. It turned out to be a very good call because the cost increase is roughly 20% over what it would have been for the steel, the exterior, and also the support inside. And so we already own the building. And so we had made the decision as commissioners Monday evening to go ahead and proceed forward with where we are now. The actual funding breakdown for Ready 2.0 for this project, which is not just this building, it's also a renovation to the farm and home bathrooms. We will be upgrading the electrical across the entire grounds. Right now, a lot of that electrical is 40, 50 years old. And so our EMC is going in and replacing that. And then we're also burying the pipeline so that we no longer have overhead issues. We're also going to be doing improvements down at the horse barn and the horse arena to deal with some of the issues that have been down there for the last quite a long time. And so the breakdown for that was a $4 million total project. $1,950,000 is coming from the state as part of the ready funds. We're looking at $2 million, then it's local money. And that breakdown is $1.2 million that the commissioners and the council had said, this is how much we're putting up. And then the projection on how much we're going to raise through a fundraising campaign is approximately $800,000. Now, the private match on this project can be in the form of not only donations, but also in-kind work. And so a lot of the electrical that's having to be upgraded per our EMC's regulations will be in kind due to the age of the equipment that's out there. And then we also have several different business entities that I believe will be providing in-kind work in different stages of this process. So we're getting there. I've already received a substantial pledge on a donation. We haven't even kicked off the fundraising campaign yet.
Essentially, the contractor could donate the labor stuff.
You know, I thought the contractor was actually going to donate the entire thing. That's what I heard, right, Scott? But as far as time frame, we're moving ahead. Buildings are down. The thing that slowed us down at this point was asbestos in the old community building. That's been remedied. It's been taken care of. And so now we're full speed ahead as far as excavation and continuing on. As far as the commissioners stand, of course, the council has to vote.
I had some concerns originally about the zoning of that, but it makes sense by the use of it. It won't be a once a year kind of use like the rest of the fairground. So
Any other questions or comments? Not hearing any, I'll look for motion.
I move that we vote on 2025-12.
First and second, 2025-12. Also let the record state Brad Schutte did recuse himself as he is one of the contractors working on the project. So
The votes are as follows: Tom Hunter, yes. Paul Stone, yes. Scott Smith, yes. Bob Mauer, yes. Frank Miller, yes. Tom Cherry, yes. Joe Kirkhoff, yes.
Thank you.
congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
All right, we will move on. APC petition 2025-13. Lester Gurley is requesting to rezone property 2.99 acres Lot 1 consisting of 10.8 acres and 2.99 acres out of Lot 2 consisting of 10.8 acres from an A1 zoning classification to an A2 zoning classification to build a single-family detached dwelling. This request falls under Decatur County Ordinance Section numbers 915 and 920-7. Property is owned by the petitioner and is located just north of 4341 South County Road, 750 West, Greensburg, Indiana, Bay Township. Mr. Early?
We had found out that there's actually about 25 acres in this lot. To the left there or the west, that little woods place there on the left side of the blue line is also part of the property. It's in the, where it's got a different tax statement on it. The original on the right is the 21, and then there's like 4 or something on that left side. So there's actually 25, but the way the land lays, you can see as far as the house on lot 2 and lot 1 at front.
So with your pointer, you're saying this little point over here?
Yeah, part of the point is also part of it. But that would be left in with lot 2. And the driveways would be there on the right where the 2 red marks are. Now there is on the right side of the road there, if you notice that road's got just a little bit of a curve to it. On the right side there, there's actually a little piece that joins my property and a little piece that joins Rosie and Brown there. And whenever I do the survey, I'm just going to take those 2 little parcels and give them to them. Because on Rosie's field there, if you can see there in that bottom left corner, that little white spot is a concrete crossing that goes into their field. If somebody owned that little bit of land there, they could cause them a problem as far as getting in that. So I'm just going to, it's only like 30 foot wide, maybe 150 foot long. But
You ended up on the other side of the road with the survey.
yeah, the road's got just a little bit of a curve, and the survey there, just south of that blue line, it's like 3 foot off the road there or something. Out of mower's width is all it really. But just to avoid problems down the road there as far as somebody getting in and out of her property and farming. If that creek are running through there, that's the only access they have to that property. So I don't want somebody else to own this property and then throw a fit over 30 foot there to keep them out of it. As far as I know, everything else has been approved, driveways, septics, talk to the electric company, the right of ways been included for electric, and everybody's good with it. It's up to you guys.
Questions or comments from board members? And where you put the house out on there, Lester?
Be back there on the left about where the lot, where it says lot, and then on that right, it'd be probably about halfway up that hill. That front lot is actually just, if you're looking at it from the east and west, it's just like a big curved thing. And to the north there, it would be a real nice bank house where one level and the second level come out back there. And it's kind of, those are hills there. It's a little bit clay ground. So as far as farm ground, it's not really best ground to begin with. And the farm ground is only like 7 acres up to 25 acres. So time you take out of there to build a house, there's not really much left other than a yard to mow.
Questions or comments from adjoining property owners?
I have 2 emails, one from the property owner to the north. I'll read this to you. I am Samuel Smith, owner of the property adjacent to the north of the acres that is now in question, owned by Lester Gurley. I have opposed this to his petition for future single-family housing. It will be a distraction to the pristine property that I now own. I cannot attend this meeting as I will be out of town on business. due to a prior commitment, but I wish to register my protest via this. Thank you for your consideration. And then the second one is this parcel here. We are Adam and Tracy Smith, owner of property joined. I'm reading it as it's spelled, joined to Lester Grove's property. We are opposed to his petition for future single-family housing. Driveway would have to be close to the creek and would cause major flooding to our barn or wash out. Right. We're also worried about extra wells taking over the water supply. Adding more houses out here would take away from the serene environment. Not attend this meeting, but we wish to register our protest via this email. Thank you for your consideration.
Tracy and Adam Smith was before this board less than 2 years ago to change their adjoining property for the same thing where they built a house there on the right. But yeah,
That was rezoned 8.
How long ago was that?
less than 2 years ago,
Yeah,
like, yeah, like 18, 20 months ago, something like that. Yeah, they changed their property to do the same thing.
So what was the concern about the driveway and the flooding?
There's a barn. This is all interpretation. There's a barn right here. So, so I'm guessing she said that she was concerned about the driveway washing away to get to that barn.
So top of the hill, pretty much it.
The driveway would have to be close to the creek and would cause major flooding to our barn.
Well, the county approved where the driveways are right there. They've been out and looked at that. County approved the driveways on there.
Well, actually, that drainage here. Creek runs down there. That water's going towards Lester. Look like that.
The way the map for floodplain shows is just like maybe the top half of that little river or something, where the driveways are. It's not, it doesn't show that in the floodplain.
Right, it's up on the higher ground.
The water backs up. If it can't handle the bridge, the water backs up. And then right there to the north, right there, is a low spot in the road where the water runs across. And then if it gets too bad, then it just, wherever down.
That's a bridge on the county.
Questions or comments from board members?
I don't think it's legitimate, because our water's going this way, the restrictions here at the county road bridge. He's actually higher than everything here. So you're going down a hill to this. Yeah, and then the creek runs to the west, so.
And then it runs alongside on the side. Is that it?
Yeah.
No, the creek is on the east side of the road. just across the
That's where
bridge.
they're crossing the field. His drive wouldn't affect, no, not at all. And as far as the main water drainage, it's actually on the sun,
Yeah.
So,
Any other questions or comments? I will look for a motion.
Move that we vote on APC 2025-13.
second,
First and second for 2025-13. We shall vote.
Those are as follows. Sheila Kirkhoff, yes. Tom Hunter, yes. Paul Stone, yes. Scott Smith, yes. Tom Cherry, yes. Frank Melly, yes. Bob Mallard, yes. Brad Sheed, yes.
Petition does pass the APC board. Stay in contact with the office. Other than that, congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That is the last thing on our agenda. Unless somebody has something else, I will look for a motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn the meeting.
All in favor?
Uh,